Oh, yeah, that's right. Ah, yes, now I remember. Yeah, there's a little problem with this thing when you upgrade it. Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on with that. Did I? Nope, doesn't. I don't think I did.
Please tell me. I've been...
Alright.
Take a look at this. Can you make use of it?
Yes, perfect. Thank you. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I don't have much you'd find useful, but please take this in return. Everything's going to be okay now, Manny. You'll be running around in no time, you'll see.
So, what are you gonna do now?
You mean as soon as Maddie feels better? Try to get out, I guess. I don't know what's going on here, but it's not improving. So, you know, I'm not gonna take any risks.
I should leave. Take care now.
You too.
I honestly don't understand, like, how they were supposed to get out. Because you find them later in Nucleus. And that's, like, I assume they go, like, to via biolabs, or the old biolabs, and, or the first abandoned reduction area. But no, they're, like,
Look out for your fellow workers. They look out for you.
They're further inside the facility.
We all know
I
the
still don't
answer
understand
to
that.
these questions. Why do people expect rebuilding of the atmosphere to happen so quickly? After all, just like this. I know.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Every launch.
Again, yeah. Real problem with these guys is that at least the slowdown on execution seems to be working now. It seems that the problem with these guys where you have their blocking move goes in effect as soon as they decide to do it, rather than when the animation shows it.
Whatever it takes, we will build a utopia for all.
Can't jump these guys. I can't remember if I've got. So I've got 2 ray capacitors. Do I not have the big one yet? Oh, I do have the big one. Might have been a different implant. Wait, or something. Anyway, it's sort of a magic number with stored energy. Minimum stored energy is like 24, 25. I think more 25. The cutoff for certain implants that use energy is 20, it's somewhere between 24 and 25. So we got enough max energy, enough ray capacitors, you can hit that. If I'm running off of about 50 energy, and that's 77, that's going to be not 40, a little less than 40. That'll be like 48.5 or something, which is much higher than I need to. Actually, okay, let's see, a temp of 77 to 7.7. So if I get rid of the 20% one, I'd be at... I'd be right below the cutoff for stored energy effects. I don't have any equipped, so it doesn't really matter to me, but... I don't have any implants that have the when high in energy does this thing. But quiet. Now what I'm really wondering is I'm gonna make a full run through everywhere else, all the rest of the levels again after I get the rig and get the events that happen, certain things that happen when you get to Nucleus. Like, once you get the security rig, you get a lockpick for a good chunk of the Nucleus, but there's one thing that doesn't change until you get, in R&D. Security rig unlocks a bunch of stuff in R&D, but there's an event that triggers once you go to R&D after seeing the Nucleus. So I remember from seeing I got a Cerberus blueprint that I did defeat the axe guy that locks the door here. And I think, I'm trying to remember if he respawned or not. Come on. Yes. Okay, yeah. Big axe guy that locks the door here. Does he respawn or not? He does respawn! So I can... Did I get his axe? No, not help. Sword. Mark. Orange stripe. Yeah. This is like, I think the most highest damaging slash weapon in the game. When it's when it's fully upgraded compared to everything else, It's just really good because you got really good proficiency scaling, you got pretty good energy gain. I think that's pretty low for a dual rig. Do I have anything else? Like, plus 80% is pretty high. I'm trying to remember, like, so for energy gain, you go from like 0% to, I think the max for any weapon at all is 80%. And I think like within each weapon class, like single rigged or whatever, it has a bit of overlap. Like dual rigged has the lowest from 0 to something percent, and that overlaps with the range for one-handed, which overlaps with, well, hold on. Oh, okay. Dual rigged energy range gain plus whatever's overlaps with staff, which overlaps with one-handed, which overlaps with single rigged, which overlaps with heavy duty, which is at the top of the thing. I think. I think the plus 55% is like some of the lowest. I don't think you can get higher than okay, single rigged is plus 80%. I'm trying to remember if there's anything that has higher percent than plus 80. There might be in the end game, but not there yet, so. Oh. I guess I'll just get it. Yeah, whatever. I think these guys technically have a weakness to elemental damage. Or some sort of shellfish right up to make it. Yeah, you can... I actually can't remember if you can do this the first time, but... Anyway, there is a drone power cell thing on this side, so you can unlock... I just don't know if you can do it like when you're first going through a level, or if you can really activate it after. Now you can see it right there. Upper right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. enough impact to stagger one hit. I do like it's not like a cutoff where you'll always stagger above this amount of impact or never stagger below it. Rather, its impact itself is just a measure of. I only had a couple shots we can try so far. Maybe that's wrong yet. But it's like a bar you fill up. Stuff. But honestly, the weird thing about impact is stagger in general. Voids, whatever. Anyway, is one thing you kind of notice about lock on is that you go pretty far, like when sliding or doing a like combo attacks. Not universal, of course. Come on. But yeah, sliding and certain parts of certain. It's not the entire thing either. It's like certain parts of the chain and of a combo affect you like that. I guess we got a chest piece. Nah. And yeah, these guys, when you're right next, their whole deal is that they'll do two-part combos. And these are some of the guys. I won't say this is a first instance, even in like, if you're doing in base game, the first instance I think of characters stealing your moveset or using player moves. Because I think some of the cyborg guys have their one-handed moves or combos you can do. And the Blight Proteus unit does have the slide, of course, and all that. But yeah, it's even the staff guys at security, their moves. They don't really have they don't have the same staff moveset as you do, and that's like cheating on giving the AI player moves is because of how it's a good way of basically just cheaping up, being frugal. About making movesets, but the thing to watch out for, like those guys, when they slide, they don't lock onto you and attack from infinite range. So, oh yeah, I died. Oh, tech scrap. Ah, yeah, somewhere. I think. I can't remember. Okay. Yeah. Like the meter. But yeah, the homing you can do, like how far you can go with the slide compared to the enemy, is pretty significant. At first, like Zack's guys, they don't lock on, but certain later, the two last bosses, both their slides, humanoid bosses, their slides do lock on, and very importantly, their sliding itself does damage. Like your slide, it doesn't do damage. Like if you try when you're trying to slide in that first phase against the last boss, you kind of notice that the idea of damage, the slide itself doing damage, is kind of built into the mechanism or something, because you can hear a ding when you're sliding against a boss, but it doesn't do anything, impact or damage. But they have. Their slide itself is two-part attack, where there's a slide, but there's also damage. Or the slide itself does damage, and that's kind of big issue / problem. Because, and the big problem is that because it locks on. That's the thing. So you have an attack that just homes in on you from almost half the arena. and it'll do damage to you coming and going, basically. Okay, I'm just trying to remember. I'm gonna make a final. I'm gonna do like the side quest run once I got all the locks and everything. Once I get a security rig and get to nucleus. No, it was an implant. I'm just trying to see if I have the health regeneration. Yeah, like certain items become available after the security moves into here, like that implant plasmic array when you're high in health. Oh, that's nice. Later, nerd. Wait, what? Somebody like reverse positioning. I guess that allowed me to back. That's just wonderful. Any other shot up? Let's see. Yeah. Well, I can't think of much else to talk about. But yeah, I do need to get the security rig if I want to do everything in every place. So I'll just wait along from that. I want to go back to abandoned production to get. I don't think I got the Spectre variant. I can't quite remember the name of it. It's just I think it's the elemental weapon in the base game because it's heavily focused on that. Okay, that's weird. I think that's weird. I guess there's some sort of shockwave thing for it. I'm just trying to figure out here if I sometimes when you get hit, you don't get the white. You don't get the white before it goes down. You just get the red. You just get a small moment, and then the red goes down all by itself. I mean, max life health bar thing. So I was kind of wondering when I got hit by that. It looks like there's a. So when the shield drones do that thing, that's weird. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I did not know you could do that. The video game. Huh. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Okay, yeah, come on. What? Are you done? Okay. That's fun. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So you can't. Yeah, you can dodge cancel out a lot of animations, and yeah, I guess the hop and duck count as those cancelable animations. Ooh. Okay, wait. Yeah, you're just pushing yourself back in midair. Wonderful. I guess it's not. I kind of didn't notice until I got down into the Spacesuit jar moonshine here, but it's a blueberry moonshine, and at the bottom of it are a bunch of, well, blueberries in moonshine. That's nice. I know there's like some liquor stores you have like the bourbon. I know there's bourbon infused cherries, probably alcohol infused other things. Like there are like champagne truffles and all that. That's nice. less than the Chinese hot dog. Well. Okay. Have I been really skipping? Like, I have this on my hot, like,
Welcome.
hotspot thing. But,
I knew you'd make it.
I'm just trying to remember if I... Oh, there's something. Whatever. You know what? Kind of, I do like the basic base whatever. The single rig weapon.
If
get.
you are
I think
not
it's one of
cleared
the
for this sector, we cannot ensure your safety.
most interesting from a lot of different standpoints. Because, I mean, it's one of the most easily seen as practical, because you've got it's literally just sort of like a giant energy saw that you cut things with. I'm trying to remember here, like, this is the last drone module in the game. I'm trying to remember. So, at the beginning, there was only one of each kind of module, and if you didn't find it, you were kind of screwed. We need to talk about this once we get out there. But they put in a couple copies of each drone module throughout the game and in one of the updates. I'm not sure if it's a Creo World update or not, because in the Creo World itself you get a lot of different variations. I don't really need anything from you. This is kind of interesting. You get into this area and it's kind of cramped, and you usually just run here, bolt through here like 100 times while you're trying to beat the boss in here. But all of these monitors here are like, I'm pretty sure every single one of them is an area from the game, and like the boss in a little bit is going to give a speech about the network being down, and so that means is while if you're really may not be able to connect to CreoNet or whatever, you still have all of the cameras you see throughout the game. One thing I do want to know is if these views points are from, or theoretically from, specific cameras in the game. And that's kind of the weird thing about that. But yeah, all of these screens here from different areas, a lot of them are, I think, in the executive forum, it's... Huh. I'm trying to figure out if that's arena. I can barely make out a name. Looks like an ID. Do you see an ID in? Huh. Yeah, but like all these screens are from... I'm trying to figure out what the top right one is. It might be... That's Ops. That's Ops. Okay, that top right one's Ops in this area. And then there's R&D on that. Oh yeah, it like says in the top right there, it's R&D there. And then there's not one here, that's just Ops. And the left one over there, that's... I'm trying to get right good camera angle for it. Yeah, R&D in the top right of that screen. Oh, and there's another copy of the warrant in. It's either Arena or Mallory. I need it. Once we get to Mallory's, once we get to Mallory, we can take a look at her and see complexion of the skin. I'm just assuming. Oh, you can just walk up right there. There we go. Yeah, that's the left one's the art center. What does that say? I'm trying to figure out what the initials are. Like top right, you can kind of see it's R&D through all the blur, but the left one. Well, I assume it'd be executive forum, but it says, I think it says CM. Takes a little bit to get out of that. The other interesting thing that I've actually seen before is looks a little kind of funny about the on things on anyway, is that Don Hackett's video or Don Hackett's screens can also be seen here, and that's kind of a interesting tidbit. When we get over to Don Hackett's place, there's a lot of stuff there. I'm gonna just there we go. Ah, hey, you're gonna. Ah. The worst. Because they got several different forms of DOTs, I think. These guys, the vacuum bots, and one of them even, stopped stamina regeneration.
That bitch just tried to get me killed. I know it. She made me go through security, right through their damn HQ. Said there was no other way. Sure, the vent system would have been a better option. Even the main entrance was less guarded. I nearly got killed because of her. I am so stupid to put all my trust in her. But who else have I got?
Try to figure out what she means by the main entrance in this one. Let me replay that real quick.
That bitch just tried to get me killed. I know it. She made me go through security, right through their damn HQ. Said there was no other way. Sure, the vent system would have been a better option. Even the main entrance was less guarded. I nearly got killed because of her. I am so stupid to put all my trust in her. But who else have I got?
I really don't know what the main entrance means. Try to put me through security HQ. Even the main entrance was less guarded. Right now, with everything... Okay, later on there's a bit about an elevator. And it could be referring to, Warren taking the elevator, but it's also possible it refers to Mallory taking the elevator. So, in this case, it could mean that she's referring that she took an alternate, because, you don't, see her actions or whatever throughout the game. She took an alternate route to get over to this, to Security HQ and, all that. So, that whole, the bit about the main entrance being guarded, the main entrance is the one we took, and she took a different one, and time for important lore.
Copy that. Right, the network's still down. That means no internal sensors or cameras, but we did just get a power spike from one of the service elevators. That means we have an intruder on this floor. I want additional forces to the boardroom right away. Nothing's to get through. In the meantime, you two, go and check out the area around the elevator. Coordinates have already been sent. No games, no warnings. Take down any unauthorized personnel immediately. Well, what are you waiting for? Move out!
So you two heading towards a certain door that does not actually lead to. So 4 of them are going a way to loose around back to where you are, where Warren came in, but 2 of them go a different way. I'm just trying to remember here. So, like in the Mallory log, it was like the vents would have been better. Even the main entrance was guarded. So that presumes that she took neither of those routes and took an unspecified third one. And then that service elevator comment, that's based on the way those guards are going, may not specifically refer to Warren coming up, rather Mallory taking a different elevator. Maybe that elevator that we get to once we go for his door. But that may not be the case simply because you get an agitator unit for here and not the Bloodhound and the whatever, maybe. Also, these 2 screens. This is the thing that tells you what do you do to get the alternate boss set and all that stuff. I think if you die and come back here, there's a big... Well, I'm trying to remember if these screens, I think, actually open up and tell you how to do it as well, maybe. I know there's more than one thing that tells you, more than one screen that display these things. Boss kill things, but like in there, I think it shows. Or right next to where he is. Whatever. Shine.
Lay down your weapons and come peacefully.
Oh yeah, I think I see.
Or don't. It's just the same to me.
Wah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of thing. He has kind of like the other guys. He has follow-ups. There are two kinds. Like, if you get hit by one of his energy waves, he'll chain that immediately into the jump attack. But also, when he does the short-term player combos, the heavy-duty player combos, he'll okay, yeah, if you're right next to him when he's doing the combo, he'll continue it, but if you're not, he'll just do the first attack motion. Thing. And yeah. Hold on. Yeah, that screen, that shows it too. I actually... I'm trying to figure out the trigger... Yeah, whatever. No, I don't see it up on the big screen there, so I think maybe when you die...
Evaluating tactical options.
No, that's might be when you die that it comes up. We'll see. I'm just more annoyed about my multiplier thing going.
Make sure to report any suspicious activity to your
I guess I'll go back.
superiors.
I like this because I don't think it's the best in the game crush weapon, but it's definitely the best single rank weapon that does crush damage, which is very nice. Trying to bait him and doing to that you can punish this. Okay, there's like when you're right next to him and you're when you're next to him, you usually can bait out either the spinning or the slow little lunge thing. And both of those are the spinning is kind of hard to punish, but the lunge is definitely. But yeah, the short bust is very slow and very easy to get in position just to do a right hook and get a lot of damage and energy off of that. Yeah, look, even though when I'm doing the combo here, I still get a bit of DOT, and sometimes you can even get the stamina, whatever, unbuff thing. You can actually jump down to a lower level from here, or at least on the yellow part, lower level and stuff. Just jump straight into boss arena, and that's very nice of how quick it works out. Okay. Something I'm a little annoyed about is that I'm not sure, I think the counter timings for when he's doing the melee attacks at least are specifically during the attacks itself, not the, I forgot to check the screens. I should be able to I'm not seeing anything on the screen yet. Oh well.
Evaluating tactical options. Severe threat encountered.
Come on.
Enforce maximum human measures.
Okay. That I can never remember. Like I have to. Like okay, as compared to other faction, party action titles. Yeah, you can hear by the sound effect whether it worked or not. Something a little annoying is that you have to be pretty far away for them for the bots to do the cannon as opposed to. As opposed to doing a jumping lunge like that. Like generally speaking, when you're trying to get away in order for to bait out the cannon. Oops. That's weird. I got this fully upgraded, but I'm getting hit a lot. I think part of it is just that I don't have enough bio boost equipped for what this seems reasonable as far as whatever. Yeah, I think based on like damage values, you're generally expected to have a couple of just certain amounts of health for different kinds of fights. Like here, maybe 300, 400. Final boss, maybe 500, 600. I mean, that's kind of a minimalistic. There's definitely. You know, I actually hadn't been paying attention to whether I not cut off the. And yeah, the counter moves, me and Hook, both count for downing the robot. I think you actually get a tiny bit of scrap when you do this as well. So, and even though the damage, something that's a little, is that even though the damage values, like how much attacks, the damage the attacks do increase, the amount of health the bot has doesn't seem to be different at all. Which is a, same sort of like heroes, the bank mayhem missions don't kill your whatever, so you can down things one hit, make you feel powerful, whatever. Anyway. As for strategy about this boss itself, it's kind of like if you're too far away, he'll either mostly just run towards you and then try to either do a slide or usually more a slide rather than a jump. And there's two kinds of slides. There's the player slide, which has the problem where, yeah, he'll either do missiles or a jump if you get stunned. Like, that's the always follow-up. There's like two kinds of sliders. I think he only does this slide once you get in the second phase, I noticed. But the player slide, which is the where you slide with the weapon along the ground. This is like just this is kind of a weird knee lunge thing. Which is much easier to avoid, but the player slide, which has him like actually, doing that does damage during the slide itself, which is in fact one of the worst things possible because you can't block that, I think. I don't think you can block that, you can't counter it. Can kind of olay it, just doing a mad or something. Yeah, you have to counter during the dodge itself. But the problem with the player slide attack he has and the final boss has as well is that partially because it homes in. Mashing buttons actually gets you out of the state faster, so it's slightly fair. I don't feel like the electric shocks themselves do as much damage as they do. Something that's nice about the counters in this game, the counters here, is that they do have a bit more momentum / you don't have to be right next to an enemy in order to do the counter themselves. You have to be you can be slightly outside of their attack range, melee range at least. But But yeah, even I was attacking between. I was counting between his attack and doesn't count. It's really while he's doing the actual damaging animations, whatever, when that happens. And so the counter timing, there's different ways in order to, avoid damage in this game. This is a game. There's, not being where attack is, which is kind of a problem with the player moves the boss does. Yeah, now see, this is a different screen that it changes based on like what you did and what you didn't do. And this one is kind of showing. It shows, you see one of the bots that was activated, and you don't see two others that weren't activated because the power wasn't, because they didn't come active / power didn't go blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it is kind of a little annoying that that doesn't show this screen first. I mean, it makes sense in context. Wait. That you don't see a screen where it shows. Wait. No, actually, it doesn't make sense because you should get the screen that has everything downed after you beat the boss and stuff. But whatever. Anyway.
I know the world seems to have stopped watching, and maybe that's the issue. We've made some decisions. Decisions I'm not proud to say that I was originally part of. But we wanted to do our best. What do they say? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Well, ours certainly were. Even those who I believe have now gone too far, they were still doing it for you, for mankind. But looking at the big picture, they lost perspective. We lost perspective. It's why I believe it is my duty as a citizen of this country and of the world to bring to your attention utopia. Unauthorized, unsanctioned, untested. Designed to replace Resolve, though instead of proper channels, it has been fast-tracked through the back door. You need to know what this will do. What this will do to you all. Utopia is...
I think this is dated like February 22nd, 2082. And other than the calendars, I guess, no, 12. 10 too many. I think this is, unless you count the calendar saying just March as a time indicator, this is, I think, the latest item in the game with an explicit date on it. And with the calendar saying March, that's why it's...
System error. User profile cannot be loaded. Profile loaded. Welcome, Captain. Your equipment has been unlocked.
Anyway,
Do you require assistance?
I think.
Welcome, Captain. Your equipment has been unlocked.
Anyway, that log is like the last chronological thing in the game, basically. As far as I'm aware, and with the calendar saying March, it's the best guess for like when the game takes place is in somewhere in March, and it maybe if it happened on March 31st and everyone was too busy dead or dying to change their calendars over, maybe April 1st, whatever. Yeah, 2082. No, so it's 2083, March 2083, because like this is like December-ish, December maybe? I'm trying to remember what the date times were for this. If it's year, month, time, a month, day, or year, day, month. Either way, that's in late 2082. The attempted leak, like this is, it says I think here, suspected security breach. Bonham was trying to, based on like what he assumed to some media outlet, some news outlet or whatever, about talking about Project what Utopia was because of conscience or whatever. And we kind of presumed that, you know, him being in the instead of security waiting for more than a year or less than a year or whatever on that, that the surge happened pretty quickly after that. So sometime in March. Relatively quickly, not like minutes or hours, but like just in terms of years. I'm gonna try to... Oh, no.
I didn't doubt you for a second. Be careful out there.
I want to install a rig and see if that changes the dialogue about finding a way to... whatever. And like each security rig upgrade you get, you know, it's kind of weird. So if you had like core level 10 the entire game, you get 4 free slots. If you do get, like the last 4 are always going to be locked unless you're already the max level for those in the game for those. But the rest will, even if you don't have the right core level for it, will unlock automatically for it. And not sure why I'm up on here or what I care about. There we go. There's another one. I guess I should put on a, say, max health thing and then a... It's not that big. One of these. Now see if I can get an energy one and then, we'll see. Okay, 31. Okay, let me think. 31.79. What's a fifth of that? Is less than a mug. Okay, 42. That would give me 90. Okay, what is the cutoff for that? 30%. 1/3 of 90. That'd be over it. So if I did that, then I could use this one. I could make that a extendo, whatever. And then I could put on. I want to put on one of the plasmic arrays. Something that, one of those when energy is high ones. So if I've got 90 or 94, oh yeah, because the cores, the ancillary cores, even though they won't help you with like the core circuits, like the red boxes, whatever, do count as pseudo levels in every other case, like increasing the effects of max whatever implants. But even before with the 90, so like 30% each, 10% of 90 would be 9. 3 of those, that'd be 27. That'd be above the 25 energy cutoff for when energy is high implants. So now I've got an implant that will, for most of the time, just be kicked in. And let's see, I don't think this changes the dialogue at all. If you have that equipped before you talk to her.
I didn't doubt you first. Please be careful.
Hey, it does reset.
Our primary goal should be to... And please... Yep. I don't want to... I've gotten...
Where can I find...
Where do you... Did you really need...
What can you tell...
I always found it, and we can find...
Yeah.
So where are you?
When you break the lockdown, all the doors should open. I'll meet you in the boardroom once you've taken down the firewall. We'll finally be able to...
That's...
I better get going.
Be safe.
I think you just don't get the thing about, hey, how do I get anywhere?
Come back anytime, sir.
Oh. What? I want to try something else. Do I have a... Yeah, I got an empty whatever. Yeah, this is a game, unlike certain other games, this is a game where lock-on is considered, where I think lock-on is considered an actual essential part of the gameplay. Because of part of things like the whole limb targeting system and whatever. So it's kind of... Let's see if I can show it here. trying to get him to do something where I can run away from him, and then yeah, you don't go that far with a slide, locked or unlocked. I mean, when we're locked on, you get us. Your slide does go straight towards the guy, so it does feel like it's a bit longer, I think. Untargeted slide, and you see what I'm talking about here. The slide is press E for attack button while running, and you got a lot of when you can see it really good when you're unlocked. Is you can turn very, very quickly. You can deja vu the hell out of everything there, and when you're locked on, you'll curve straight towards your enemy no matter which way they go. Basically the entire way there, and that's nice for you. But like when an enemy does it, especially on the later enemies, when they do damage from the slide itself, that's sort of when I get to the final boss in that part. I'm gonna see if I can actually block that, or if that's even worse than I think it is. Yeah, even like when I'm like trying to stagger and turn the bot itself. Like I don't have a way to dodge that. I don't have any way to mitigate, do anything to that damage because of that stamina loss debuff. You're supposed to, I guess, either save stamina or whatever for it. Yeah, no, okay. I was thinking that these screens were over, big screens over there that showed the status were over here. I do feel like this might be the same sort of situation as the status screens as Creo World. I think like this should be coming after before the fight, and then afterwards you're seeing all of them canceled out or something. I mean, as it is now, it's more of just a way of showing what you need to do or what progress you did.
Authorization acknowledged.
There we go.
I know the boys are laughing at me about this, but this is how it starts. It's the small things. It might just be stolen office supplies to them, but what next? I have a duty to find a culprit. Besides, they may be satisfied with staying where they are, but I have ambition. They'll be laughing on the other side of their faces when I'm the one calling out the duty roster.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think this is Ferguson. Yeah, this is Pearson. This is just about missing. I think this is just.
I think I've tracked the source of some of our current security problems. You may be aware of the recent increase in missing tools and tools. But the episodes are separate. What we can only see is sabotage and R&D. I am led to believe Dr. Chavez is covertly working within the facility. So I have tried to bring this to the attention of the board. Every time I seem to be stonewalled by Mr. Bottom and Mr. Fox. Without further authorization, my hands are currently tied.
Yeah, I think this is the first one. These two feel like they're about just the same thing, really. Like the missing office supplies and all that. It's just the missing office supplies really doesn't make sense unless it's just about Chavez stealing stuff. And this feels weird because I don't think anything changes even after you lift the lockdown here. Like you've got. Let's see. I've got it turned off, but it's automatically turned on by default. I think is the option to auto lock your camera on to attack your target. Yeah, it's like as soon, because you need you get the security rig after being an executive forum boss. You don't get the V5, you don't get the last tier of upgrade implants until you defeat the boss here. That's nice. I think the two people, there's like the blood, the blood thing, and the guy to my right. I think these are different actually. these might be the same guys, but the fact that the guy has an axe is continuity problem or something, or it could just be I'm not quite sure if these are implied to be the same guys, the two people who are out to look for a intruder or whatever. Nah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. And some of this would make sense, I guess, maybe. This doesn't, like... Well, this doesn't lead anywhere, really. I mean, you can make the jump back to here and get back to Ops, but I think these guys are just there to be enemies that are there. Do guard, whatever, stuff. They're not part of the lore, whatever lore or whatever. Yeah, you got this thing back here at Ops, but you don't... nothing changes over here in Ops, like... Yeah... And you can see on the behind the grates there, I think those are all the each one of those is a row as one of the paxes that are faced, or free paxes that you face. Trying to figure out what armor I need to get. I don't think I'm even going to craft this, but I still like want to have the blueprints for sentimental reasons, I guess. Arm, body, I need leg. I'm trying to see if we can get a finding here. Already got it. Yeah, their slide, they're doing a player slide, I think, as well. Let's see if I can get them to do it. But they do a player slide as well, I think. Yeah, that's a player slide. That's a player slide, and that doesn't do damage, but I mean, it kind of makes sense in the game, because both of the bosses that do damage in the energy slide have, like, the weight. They have the big old energy thing on them, or imply to have, or the final boss. So this boss at least has that making sense. But the final boss, it's got elemental damage on its weapon, sure, but it doesn't have like a big glowy thing on it, I think. Okay, there's glowy things on it, but a big glowy electric thing on it. I'm trying to keep out on the lookout for actually, okay. I'm trying to figure out, like, now I'm on the lookout for the staff guy and the bloodhound that were assigned to look for the intruder that I'm assuming is Mallory, because I'm just on this lore thing, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. That's, I think, was name for the guy. We got this here. This might be where Mallory came into the, okay, that's... Yeah, that guy might be... Like, I don't know where the blood... I was wondering if I would, like, miss a bloodhound coursing here or whatever.
This is confusing. Management floors are all clean. There's no sign of the chaos outside. There's security everywhere. It's like they were planning for this. I don't know what's going on. She tried to calm me down. She told me she was stuck here. I don't know. I want to believe in her. I need to. I just want to see a friendly face in the flesh. Even if it's hers.
just like the best bet I got for those two Bloodhound and assuming that they are actually those enemies, the Bloodhound, whatever, are in the game considered whatever. I'm forgetting I have the plasma array in my on, I think. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because I don't have that much, I only got 310 health as opposed to 600 or something, so I can kind of see pretty quickly that number going up, health going up with the plasmic array. What was that? 4 HP a second? 2 HP a second. Even though it's 2 HP a second, it feels pretty fast. 146. 149. Yeah, like, seconds in here are not like 1,000, 1,000, I feel like. I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm not sure like all of the trees that have falling leaves in here are supposed to represent pollution, or metaphorical representation of pollution or whatever, or if there's like a tree. I don't know if these are like synthetic or organic plants or whatever. You've got like artificial plants smelling on them. I don't think there's really lore about all of the greenery here. I keep using the single rig weapon. It's good for impact, but it's okay. So weird thing of these guys, their tail is weak to slash and elemental. I mean, their front legs are weak to. The legs are weak to crush. The tail's weak to slash. Yeah, I do not think there's any tree lore in this game. It's like the trees are falling leaves. There's nothing that look. I'm looking at this tree here. I see textures on this tree here. I do not see any secret signs of it being an artificial tree or whatever. It looks like these are all real plants that are sort of there for appeal and stuff. I think there may be like when we're coming up here. So leaves falling down might be because they're not being watered anymore, or it could be just a sort of really a nice aesthetic touch. Out of game, a nice aesthetic touch. In game, it may just be not being watered and they're just sort of die. The dying maybe is a metaphorical thing for whatever. There might be tourists going through this place based on these Creo screens here.
We've always seen Jonah Gutenberg as
I'm looking out for little simply point things.
We've always seen Jonah Gutenberg as the face of Creo, but he's not alone. Creo's board is made up of cream of the crop, and too often their views are not heard. Today we're going to change that. Please welcome Tobias Green.
Well, thank you, Don. It's a pleasure to be here.
I was told Mr. Gutenberg is currently unavailable. Would you like to elaborate?
Now, as you may know, Jonah has been suffering from extreme stress recently. We're at a critical phase here in Creo. In fact, I dare say it's a new beginning.
Would you care to elaborate there?
No, not currently. As I'm sure you understand, confidentiality is of the utmost importance.
Of course.
Well, we have huge decisions to make on a daily basis, as well as the smooth running of operations here at Creo. With the recent tide of dissent against Project Resolve, we've come to the conclusion that bold steps need to be taken.
And what would those be?
Again, it's too early to elaborate any further, but be assured we have the best interests of humanity at heart. When the time is right, all will be revealed. There are tough choices that need to be made in the days ahead, but rest assured, we will make them.
Forgive me for saying so, but that does sound vaguely ominous.
No, not at all. But you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
I'm being told that that's all we have time for right now. So, thank you for your time.
So I think right now, and like we'll see with Don Hackett, he figured out / knew a lot of stuff going on at Creo, including Utopia. That interview right there, I'm not sure if that was even made. Like, I'm not sure how much of this interview stuff is stuff that actually got shown to visitors. How much of this stuff was supposed to be public. Even diluted, that's pretty powerful. Anyway, but based on what he says there, it's pretty obvious to assume this is happening after they sort of internally rejected Resolve, fired Chavez and all that, and went on to. It also implies like they did this after making up their minds about starting up Utopia, or backing Utopia, not actually doing it. We're gonna still dissent about that, but because of the omelet few eggs comment, this is after they learned that of the negative effects of Utopia, of the not the nanite distortion process, but the Utopia compound itself had like the 95% extinction rate on the Grey and all that.
Trumped up little fuck. Where does he get off on lecturing us about worker rights? Unbearable. Honestly, I knew this would happen when they promoted him. Don't know what they were thinking? Hey, why not promote every dumbass on the assembly line? Pedigree seems to count for nothing these days. I heard the other dirtbirds hate him too. Having him announce the last salary cut and fire that old fart was a shrewd move. Thanks for the tip. I'm gonna enjoy turning his life to shit. Some small recompense for having to deal with him. I mean, he even gets to use the executive washroom and canteen. Now I have to see his ugly mug when I eat and piss.
Okay, I don't think the old fart is Chavez. There's But yeah, it's called Operation Ferguson. Where is it? Yeah, literally there was or at least one guy in the upper levels of management that had a full-on thing about making Ferguson's life terrible, which kind of fed into Ferguson dumps us. I'm trying to figure out if Eddie Bean's the guy that's being fired about. I'm pretty sure Eddie Bean is probably the one. Boyd. I'm trying to figure out who Boyd is if Boyd comes out again. Wait, what? John Marcus Connolly. Who? I'm trying to remember. If Connolly's just a member on the board. Really? So Jonah Goldberg's the head. I think Connolly we'll learn in a bit about all the names or initials of the guys. Mr. Ferguson, his policy. Yeah, so this is from this guy, to Ferguson, and then the Levi, he says, oh, I'm not sure what the timeline is of what happened one before the other. I think this happened first, so he decided to do this in order to get Ferguson to cancel this, which kind of,
So Ferguson dumps us, then it's all, buddy, come to my party. Fuck him. Listen to this shit. Hi, pals. As you may know, next week is my birthday. Who does he think he is after what he pulled? There'll be tons of cakes, so bring your hunger to break Area 12. Hope he chokes on it. First the drones, then John, and now the salaries.
He's got to screw loose if he thinks we'll forgive and forget. One of these days, I'm gonna grab my tools and tighten it for him.
Well, actually, no. If like this, okay, he's talking about stuff that Operation Ferguson is also talking about. So John is the old fuck or whatever that got fired, I guess, and then I'm trying to figure out here. The Operation Ferguson might be actually the chronological end of that, accepting, you know, Ferguson's death and all that quest line. But I really don't get that. Like, sometimes their self-detonation process seems to feel like they do it when there's no enemies or when there's no allies around, but they'll also do it when low on health, I think. Yeah, I'll do it when low on health, or if there's no more enemies around the area. But I'm trying to figure. I usually don't see them actually like lose the health and then die. I think I seem to do it from full health. I think it might be that I just don't notice the. I don't think I like lock on them, so I just see their health bar go down. I think part of the self-destruct sequence is that if they're not at the right amount of health, they do lower their health a bit. Did I? Wait, did I get the... Well, it's showing something new, so I have to assume it's... Yeah. Yeah, I think these guys share the moveset of the boss a little. Just not, they don't have the full combos. I mean, the boss itself also is sharing the moveset of the player, typically. Something else going on with that. But yeah, I guess part of the self-destruct move is that they automatically go to low health as part of it, which is nice. Granted. So if you can stop it by stop it by killing them. So probably have enough for might have enough for a B4 weapon. I think I'm going to upgrade the code name here just so I can take out those guys in the full combo. I probably already can, it's just because I started with doing the... Okay. I'm going to upgrade this so I can take care of the factory boss easier. And that was the next level. Dang it. Nice. You get V1, you get V2, you don't get V3. And you get a V4, but you don't get a V5. That's a little awkward, but because you can stack them, it's not that much of a difference. It's 40,
Good day,
20,
sir.
20, and 10 per NG run. So you can start out with 1.9 and go up to... I got an extra.
What you do for Creo.
So yeah, you can stack them up to 1.9 and get up to 3.9 multiplier. Since how those work is like you start it still goes for the same progression of EXP gain per execution is like plus 0.5, plus 0.5, plus 0.05, I think. No, I think it starts with adds 0.1 each time, and then goes to 0.05, and then goes to 0.02-ish, 0.03-ish. Nice. Anything that kills them faster. Okay. Yeah, I still don't know exactly if those two guys, the Bloodhound and Staff Guy, are considered to be part of the in-game universe or whatever, one of the enemies in here. I've got 2.5 right now. I don't really care too much about the V4 armor materials in these guys right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying to see here if you see any like Bloodhound bits. Whatever. And we got another Mallory log.
I finally reached my limit. I told her to fuck off. And then it happened. Right outside Ops. My whole body. Everything hurt. I remember hitting the floor. Opening up my shirt. There were cuts and bruises everywhere. I can hardly move or breathe now. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. Left eye is blind again. What did that bitch do to me? I was fine. I was totally fine, and then all of a sudden, the agony. I'm broken. What's happening to me?
I honestly am not sure what's going on here. There's like her spontaneously. It's assuming that Ops patched her up, but the idea of it being reversed. The most likely scenario is that Sally got her implant or whatever to think that she was where she was right after the surgery, where everything was blind and all that. And like you can't just. So she thinks that she's hurt, but she's not. So you don't see necessarily. That's why you don't see blood stains everywhere around here, or whatever. I guess. Anyway.
Hey, this is a restricted area. Okay.
Whatever.
Back off.
No.
No.
I don't even care about your dialogue anymore. I don't think that... Yeah, it doesn't actually do damage to her until you actually upset her. But yeah, okay. Oh no, I don't remember you. Oh no, anti-incursion, whatever. Nah, I'm gonna use the same moveset as rest does because whatever. Lore friendly. Ah, ooh. And because she's an NPC, even though she has this stuff going on. Oh well. Oh no, I didn't get the peace picker. Whatever. I honestly don't really care that much. It's fast. That's nice, but it in damage areas in other respects, it's kind of terrible compared to everything else. Also, okay, I really like this image gallery. I'm not sure how much of it is a touched-up concept art or just general fucking around by the graphic guys. I don't feel this doesn't feel like an area where.
Authorization acknowledged.
Like this image here, let's just assume that this is an area that you could tour through, that people were toured through, at least. Since we're gonna get another interview somewhere around here.
Authorization acknowledged.
Interview screen. But yeah, you have like Creo Art Foundation. Like, I think this is part of the tour. I still don't think I've seen any stuff on the ground that's saying assembly points or whatever. I think there's a thing, but right before Nucleus Elevator that says that. But yeah, this is just a nice little gallery of art. Water in a. I'm not sure what the top right is. That kind of looks like. My best guess, based on the artwork, is that represents an area, maybe in in the abandoned production. Like over here, that's the cyborg robots. Over here, not quite sure. It looks like kind of like arm pieces or whatever pieces. It looks like a composite of a different kinds of different brands of either weapons / armors, like a steer, rhino, whatever. Yeah, actually, is a. Yeah, it's got a red black, like, top is red blackish color scheme. I'm trying to see if there's anything. I'm looking for something with red, black, and the yellow stripes on there. Either in the armor. Kind of reminds me of maybe a Lynx, or maybe part of a Lynx set or something. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure if these designs are like were concept arts that were made for exhibit, or if they actually even mean anything. Just feel like it's a little too small, the Arc Foundation part, but whatever.
The board has been pushing us for months at a rate that's frankly not safe. But we've been cutting so many corners to push everything through, and now nothing. We can't even get a response to even the most basic questions. And what the hell's going on in there? And many of the supervisors are pissed, and I mean seriously so. Now the board needs to get their fingers out of their butts and get back on track. Otherwise, we're gonna have a disaster or a mutiny.
Okay. Based on what that's saying there about not getting a response at all or whatever, that can be implied to mean that that's during the what they've been delivering for. You can kind of guess from different things there that the board. Barrett said that he sent his final proposal weeks ago and still nothing. So it's assuming that the boardroom sort of locked themselves up in the board locked themselves up in the boardroom. And I think Ari. And then it's like, even though, so they've been trying to get everything ready to get the Utopia stuff, Project Utopia stuff, and rock it out really quickly because of all the stuff, projections and things, and saying Resolve isn't working, nothing's fast enough, we gotta get something done, or else everything's gonna go terribly. So you give drugs to workers, everything's being automated, blah blah blah. And now, like, they finally got you got everything set up for Utopia, and then the boardroom has to give the final vote to yay or nay it, and they've been stuck on that for a while now, and right now everyone's kind of wondering what's going on. Or that's I think, my best guess for it.
Entry permitted.
Most of the stuff here I can... Everything I can say, almost most of the stuff here is I can say it's like my best guess for what's going on, really. As opposed to being like... Yeah. Here we go, V5. Need to do some level ups.
Isn't that what being human is about?
Yeah, I'm just gonna... Yeah, you have to do it during... If you want to do a counter, you have to do it while they're... Stop, please. There we go, second interview.
Today it's with great pleasure that I introduce to you Howard Bottom.
Thank you for such a warm welcome. I know people like to think of executives in the same manner as accountants. Or are they the same thing?
Always welcome here.
Well, after my colleague was in, I wanted to bring forth another point of view.
No, we're still doing Resolve. We're doing solo Resolve.
We have disagreements from time to time, but isn't that what being human is about?
Huh.
And the one thing we're trying to preserve at Creo is humanity. That's our end goal, after all. There are those who would play politics, but this isn't the arena for that, and I'm sure cooler heads will prevail.
That's certainly good to hear. There have been rumors about a new version of Project Resolve or something to replace it?
There will always be rumors. R&D is doing some incredible work, and
We'll always try and push the envelope here at Creo. It's what we do. But let me assure you, we've crunched the numbers, and Project Resolve is the way forward.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's kind of... Oh, I think I forgot to mention it. Green is... So in the boardroom, Sully tries to attend to two people. There's one guy there she spends most of her time with. But the other person, let's see, is Green. And it's like, it's kind of by the way she says, okay, now that I'm here, let's see what we can do. So it's kind of implied there that Green was the one that started a call that sort of initiates Sally to try to get into the boardroom to attend medical service. It could be as simple a thing as like dehydration, pre-existing medical conditions, blah blah blah, and all that. But either way, yeah, Green may have summoned medical aid or have asked Sally to I've got enough impact. I've got enough impact in order to do that. It's kind of interesting. These guys, their jumpsuit has a different design. Jonah Goldberg is the most transhumanist. Yeah, I think his office actually even overlooks the one of the rocket launch towers. Like, just 3 of them. Kind of. See one here, and then you can see another from boardroom. And on here on his desk, there's 2 books out, audio log, and then there's a picture. Yeah, it's even up close like this. It's very, it's high texture enough that it's important. And yeah, I'm not sure if right one's Jonah Goldberg. I don't know what this is about. This is some sort of significance for something. I don't know. Maybe he made Sally. Maybe it's like based on his mother or older sister or something. I mean, maybe he doesn't have the older sister. Maybe whatever.
This was to be my legacy. My name would have been etched in the history books for all time. Though now I fear I will have a less than salubrious entry. If I could pinpoint a moment that I could take it back, make a change. I still can't see it. My own hubris was my undoing. Presenting myself to the world as I wanted to be seen. No mistakes, that sort of thing won't happen under my command. Even at my age. Vanity. Trying to overcome the shortcomings of resolve with a quick fix patch. It's ridiculous in hindsight, but we didn't see it. How could we not see it? We've failed. We failed everybody. That is my legacy.
So yeah, this implied John Goldberg either resigned or died, and based on context of this is sort of a resignation letter thing, and he this is presumably like after he learned, like it's not just like, oh, Resolve isn't working, we need to find something else, but because he says the quick fit patch. I think again, this is like after they learned that the Utopia compound would have these effects on it, but because this is in 2081, May 18th, this is pretty far back. This is really far back, and yeah, it's just sort of like the Utopia project and stuff. Like they've been working they're working to get the Project Utopia rocket and all that stuff together pretty quickly in terms of years, from at least 2080 something, I think, to 2083 March sometime, basically. Possibly. Anyway, now for a most important bit of lore in here. The comic. Which has Sally, Chavez, Warren. I don't know who that guy on the left is, back left is. There's an invitation pamphlet for Creo. I can just manipulate to JPEG a little. M Mouse, a criminal masterpiece. Yeah, okay. You don't know who that guy in the bottom left is. That's great. Okay, and you see at the top there's Creo said there's a MG Gorgon guy, security guy, doing the shock. It's really cheesy. Let's see. I think all these were done by different artists, like all these. So the last one of these you get is, you kind of notice right now there's not really that much of a theme. They're all sort of weird dramatic things. One's a little fourth wall breaking. But this one here with like, this sort of almost addresses the, you know, the world's kind of fucked thing. Or you can apply it, and there's... Beady Iron, Save and Sniff. I'm not sure. That was like some sort of promotional Twinkie thing. Like the last comic book we get in Nucleus is Iron Mouse at a workbench, and that's sort of kind of ties the whole thing together with like Iron Mouse is a Iron Man proxy-ish, and it kind of like way it's sort of going about, and especially with the Creo World DLC being all about Iron Mouse and Carbon Cat and all that, sort of like Iron Mouse was either created by Creo or licensed by Creo. They got the rights to him later, and are using it as sort of metaphor or spokesperson as a. Other than Don Hackett, Iron Mouse may be considered considered the. I have to use two maybe. Like, the first is may space B, second one is may be one word. Maybe the other sort of spokesperson at Creo.
They're hunting me now. Wherever I hide, they're coming for me. The pain is getting worse. I don't know how much longer I can stand it. I can feel how it drains me. Not giving up, though. I gotta find her. Maybe she'll help me again. I'm sorry. So sorry. Please don't leave me alone up here.
Drop the weapon and stay where you are. This sector is under lockdown.
I'm not sure what the blood smears about.
I said stop!
My slide's better than your slides.
This is G7. We have visual confirmation. This is G7. Losing visual contact. Requesting backup.
Yeah, it feels like early game enemies have much more forgiving. Usually have much more forgiving counter timers than the later game enemies. Yeah, here's the thing. There's a big blood smear here. And this leads all the way to where Mallory is.
Losing visual contact. Requesting backup.
This is from the execution. This here, like, you don't get any sort of blood spatters or anything else. Even around the log where she has her thing, she's talking about stuff. She doesn't. There isn't any like dripping blood or whatever from all the cuts and bruises she's supposed to have, or the eye missing. So sort of, my best guess is that she wasn't actually injured or harmed. She just thought she was, or felt she was, by Sally, who has a bit more of a connection, who has a bit more power than she says she has. And then she tried, either she tried to run over here, tried to negotiate, or whatever. Something happened. She got smacked, and she got injured, and then all the blood kind of goes here. Not sure how she got through here. If you wanted
Access granted.
Oh, yeah, you can see a handprint. I don't know. She's an engineer. She hacked the Echelon's son. Whatever. And no blood in here. No blood in here. Because I don't know, texture. But yeah, here we go. This is much easier textures to put on. You get steps, falter, steps. Yeah, literally handprints showing her crawling, grappling by the hands, and then. Okay, look at this model right here. This is at the beginning of this level when you got into the Towering Eye. There were two things, one for Warren and one for a woman, a dark-skinned woman. I was thinking, well, it may have been Mallory or Rena, as I couldn't remember if Rena was more light-skinned in this, but basically because I don't have a picture of her dead body on hand, because that I didn't really think about it. Anyway, but yeah, it looks like based on the hairstyle and the skin color, yeah, she's the other person that was in the Towering Eye figurine.
Well,
stuff.
I made it. Hope you're proud. I'm part of the corporate machine now. Not exactly my dream, but a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. I know people are depending on me. No longer the sponge. Now, the shark. Rah! I'm not gonna let you down, Dad. I'll see this through. It won't be like the others, I promise. You're all I got now. And I'm not letting you go anywhere. Best paid job for non-skilled labor on the continent. If it's non-skilled they want, it's non-skilled they'll get. Love you, Dad. Let's talk soon. Mallory.
I mean, I guess she's not an engineer, so I'm not sure how she got through the door or whatever. Anyway, I'm just gonna check to see if the initials on any of those tower things line up with the guy who brought the Operation Ferguson. John Marcus Connolly, JMC. Do I see it? Do I see something with ending with C on here? I don't think so. HHS. No, so I guess he's part of upper management probably, but he's not he is not part of the board. So yeah, I think they named a guy with those. I'm not sure if this is. I don't think this guy's named. He just did the HAL thing for. Not yet. So this is online. So this is online. All the rest of these over here are offline. There's Sal. E. Over here. There's JG. One of the JGs is online. One of these Sal is online. This is the most obvious things at times when the game changes in response to the event you do, or level of progression changes an area. Since it changes this area here, and yeah, you can expect that in order to get a trophy, achievement, whatever, but that you can't actually go back to talk to Sally and get her to admit to anything, whatever. It doesn't open up anything.
Security level clear. Access granted. Lockdown deactivated.
Okay, so now she's on fire.
Executive firewall
JG
reset to
right.
standard parameters. Attention. Lockdown deactivated. Normal operations have been resumed. Please return to your designated work areas.
And even if you go back to talk to her now, she still has the same dialogue. If you do this right, if you skip out on the boardroom, I think I'll actually do it.
Failsafe protocol active. Log. Mark 0 hours, 3 minutes, 12 seconds.
Boardroom neurovote system successfully paused. Quorum issue utopia votes recorded. Board members Bonham, Green, Fox, Vanderbilt, Navabi, Ito, and Freeman. Quorum issue utopia vote pending. Board member Hayes. Emergency medical assistance requested. Exponential cascade continuing throughout all Creo systems. Damage report unknown. Personnel-related collateral effects likely for most operational neural implants.
Nope. Don't you explode me. You can, yeah, this is a really bad ambush, because you can lure either one of them over to where you are after. Ah. One annoying thing is it can be sometimes hard to get the start doing the hop or duck for the counter. Yeah, because if you flick, you can flick them up. You can flick control stick up or down at the same time you press the button. But you can't. You have to do it. You can do it simultaneously or one after the other. But you can't do the reverse. You can't go. If you can't flick it down or up and then do the and then do whatever. So that can get a little annoying. Alright, let's see Hackett first. Talk about the media room.
Well, I made it. It's not the one I'm proud of.
Here we go, London School of Journalism thing.
That's what I wanted. I wanted
you got a journalism
be proud of
award.
me.
Wait.
I made so many
First
mistakes.
place, okay, good.
The biggest one was not fighting for you.
These guys on the machines here. Yep, same screen. Top two screens are different. Left one says video right before step. Right screen is same thing as this bottom left one. You can see these in the towering eye bit.
They were never who they pretended to be. And I helped them create that lie. Don't let Jewel know. Please don't tell her. Don't tell her. Tell her it ended like this. I love you both. Please know that. Always loved you, Rhea. No one compares. I don't want to think that that's the last time I'll hear your name.
Let's get a whole thing on
After
here.
a lifetime of speaking on camera, I'm suddenly lost for words. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rhiann. I could have been a better husband. A better father. I wanted to make it right. Prove I could make a difference. Well, I made a difference. It's not the one I'm proud of. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to be proud of me. I made so many mistakes. The biggest one was not fighting for you. There's no way out. I don't want them to get me. I know they're there. I can hear them. They were never who they pretended to be. And And I helped them create that lie. Don't let Jewel know. Please, please don't tell her. Don't tell her. Don't tell her it ended like this. I love you both. Please know that. Always loved you, Rihanna. Always. No one compared. I don't want to think that that's the last time I'll hear your name. After a lifetime of speaking on camera, I suddenly lost for words.
We've always been fascinated with technology, seeking a closer, more intimate relationship. In the early parts of the 21st century, social interaction became more active through networks and devices than person to person. They enabled people to be who they wanted to be, not who they were. But we were lying to ourselves. Finally, we are ready. Man is integrating with machines, becoming as one. Think of it. Joining conscious thought, our true souls, eternal, immortal. Isn't that what everyone wants? Ascension is not in the power of the divine, but rather here, within the machine.
I can hear you. They were never who they pretended to be. And I helped them create that lie.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I was actually trying to get a picture on the right, but yeah, okay. I didn't know I was in front of that picture. Come on. These are all kind of hard to see. You kind of see a bit of R&D stuff in here. And the failed... Here's we got... Okay. Something I need to check here. In Chavez's lab, in the sewer lab, she's got cameras on a different couple things. One of the screens she has is a screen that sees one of these failed... No, I'm pretty sure it's the one on the right. Like here... Okay, these Utopia research, that's legible on the top right. Based on this, I think these are people who are actually got... It's either deceased or alive. So right here, I'm assuming that refers to, again, another thing where the Utopia Preservation Project isn't actually the same thing as Project Utopia. But these are just the people who are being turned into cyborgs and either died or in two cases... or a couple more cases, of course, because, you know, we're killing them all through R&D. But these are a couple cases showing that they lived. But the one on the right... showing deceased, failed, is actually shown in Chavez's lab there, and this is really important. These pictures here, I think the bottom one is that's just an R&D thing. It's kind of showing manufacture whatever, but look at the middle one and the top one. Top one is one of the rockets, Utopia's rockets. But the middle one, that right there may be the instance, and like the instance where the payload for the Utopia rocket burst out because of the surge or something. There's a whole bunch of pictures here about stuff, and like this is really big lore filled. Like Don Hackett was doing research on it. He's going. There's a bunch of different things. It could be that like there's a lot of different like the little things you could think from this. If we had reached Don Hackett alive, he like every single other NPC in the game is like, well, what happened? I don't know. Don Hackett is probably the one guy in this entire game in this entire almost universe that probably knows everything that is going on and has happened here because he's been putting in work. See, like he's got all this stuff about the Cyborg project and stuff about rockets and everything. Yeah, and it's just sort of like it's kind of hard to tell how much of the stuff he was told and stuff supposed stuff he figured out.
Please don't tell her. Don't tell her.
I mean, I guess they could say that he used his own journalistic knowledge in order to do all this research and stuff, but yeah, anyway. But yeah, the whole thing.
Clearance confirmed.
So as a suicide video has a couple of things. There's 2 days, I think. The THEYs. The first one is they referring to the board or the trio itself, basically. Like they were not who they pretended to be, and I helped create them that lie. Like Creo was kind of a bit of a shithole, and he did presentation videos. He worked for Nami. Whatever. And then the other day, like the day I can hear him outside my door, he doesn't seem to have any pictures of his research or whatever about what's going on in executive forum, and his door was locked. Maybe because of him, maybe it was locked automatically. But it's hard to tell if he thought the day were like the zombie robots, whatever. Everyone's coming in to get him and get him. It's hard to tell what the "there's no escape" part is. That I'm going to be killed for knowing too much. I'm going to be killed because that's standard procedure. I'm going to be killed because of this. Or the "there's no way out." It's hard to tell how literal to metaphorical the no way out part is here. There's the circuit that gets you into this door. At least back to the main queue. Whoop. Whoops. Yeah, this crushing does way too little damage on the tail part, but does way too much damage on the legs. But yeah, I really do like, even though it's kind of a terrible thing to happen to you, I really do like how much distance you get with the second move. With the second move of the vertical combo. That little shook. Re-education gap.
Now let me ask you a question. What is reality? Do you accept it because your senses tell you it is real? Because you can taste, touch, smell, hear, see it? You know as well as I that they can be deceived as easy as a lie drips from a politician's mouth. This world is a veil pulled over our eyes to blind us to the truth. Life is nothing more than an illusion, swaddling us like a child, a comforting memory of times past. And we know better than most how memory works. The masses accept it as infallible truth, yet we understand the dishonesty of our own mind. We dance a frantic jig to a familiar tune, while hidden puppeteers pull the strings.
I'm not sure how much of that is Total Recall reference. Anyway, yeah, try talking to Sully now.
And accounted for.
Nothing changes.
Warren.
There's a lot of things that change this
going.
game, good or bad or whatever, but yeah. I could just upgrade it right now. I'm trying to think if there's anything I want. gonna do Paul.
Happy to help, Captain.
Okay. Yep, can't avoid it. There's a lot of things that change this game with different buys and stuff you wouldn't expect, but yeah, there's also times when it, like, yeah, if you skip out on going to ops after you turn from the biolabs, or no, not the bio. If you skip out on going to Central Production B ops at some point, there's one scene where Sally contacts you to ask where you've been. I think after you go to the biolabs, and you're supposed to go into conversation with her about stuff.
We feel safer knowing you're out there.
But if you don't, if you leave that until the end of the game, till after she's dead or whatever, burned out, it's yeah, she just pops up just to do that one scene. So it's basically a scripted event that's designed to pop up one time after you do this thing, but it doesn't have like it doesn't go down after you do it. Let's see if I can not back down this time. Let's see. Even though I didn't have much HP there, something interesting is just that you can survive really. Sorry. This isn't like an instant death drop, I'd say. I think if he had like enough HP, you could pretty easily. Okay, I need chest piece and leg. Whoa. Yeah, good thing about the Wii at least is that generally it'll hit the chest. Even with auto-targeting, the counters and some other moves don't necessarily will hit the place you want them to hit. Yeah, this thing is. It's hard to tell when exactly. They will blow up. The self-destruct, the explosive droids will blow up. Drones will blow up if there's no other enemies to buff or whatever. But it's hard to tell when they'll buff. Sometimes they'll actually start attacking you first, and then maybe buff start their self-destruct sequence a bit later. The thing about the execution is there's a minimum range you need to execute it from, but the range at which the execution will take place is a bit larger than that. Like, you can hold the button down. You know what? Do I have... I guess I will start grinding for better parts. Probably got enough head. Maybe leg, arms. Not enough legs or chest, probably. Let's see if I get the legs. Oh, really? Like, how much energy? I got 29 energy, and that's still enough for him. I'm pretty sure it's still 25. I don't think he changed that in the patch.
He's not cooperating. Subdue the target. He's not cooperating. Subdue the target. He's not cooperating. Subdue the target.
Very much.
Access granted.
Three blind mice, see how they run, see how they run. Cut off their tail with a carving knife. Did you ever see such a sight in your life?
Maybe they represent the free launch pads and rockets and stuff? I don't know.
I'm sorry it took me so long. There was a problem when I initiated the reboot. The following surge threw me out of the system. It's all right. I'm here now. I didn't think I'd be able to bring him back. But he proved to be remarkably durable. Unlike the others. What's that? Now then, Mr. Green, I'm right here. Let's see what we can do for you. No. No, 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 no. Just, I'm here now. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's all right. System. Defibrillator online. Resuscitate. 3, 2, 1. This can't be happening. After everything I did. I saved you. I saved you.
Launch preparations initiated. Nucleus lockdown deactivated. Attention, UTP-01 confirmed. Utopia personnel, please gather at your designated workplaces and prepare for further instructions.
Yeah, I think this is a different launch pad. I think. Like, yeah, you can see those 6 things there. Those are I think we basically learned later on nuclear thing that just basically says, yeah, those are nitrogen tanks, and then those are used to basically cool the nanites to stop them from doing stuff. And this is actually just a very nice view in general, because you can kind of see that this whole thing is sort of a desert, and there's either a ring of either a wall or a sort of tram line, or both, or something. Not sure if you can see like the abandoned production, or what could be abandoned production or whatever from here, or Resolve Biolabs from here. I'd need to cross-reference this with like one of the pictures of the maps or something of I'd need to cross-reference this with the loading screen basically, because I think. Because I know, because there is one of the rockets. One of these rockets is interlinked. Yeah, if you looked at this, we could tell like what position we are and what we're supposed to be looking at based on that rocket or whatever. And yeah, this is definitely a different one. Let me just, excuse me. Yeah, about that. The delay is really nice just to have an alternate attack, but it really does sort of screw with you. Ah! You stop that. Okay, you. Where? Doctor. Get back here. Thank you very much. But yeah, you can tell that's not the same. I think I need to like it. Yep. See, you can see right there. I didn't have a white bar for that thing. But I didn't have the white bar part before the flash of whatever. What do I need for this Slapius? The Slapius armor is like pretty much the most of the cutting edge DLC is the most powerful armor in the game by far. It is the one that increases your attack speed the most. It makes one of the best implants in the game better in every way. Basically, yeah, this is a different launch pad. I'm not sure if there. I don't think there's a window on the other side to see the third launch pad. Anyway, can bait. You're supposed to fight these two together, but you can bait one of them. I think pretty easily, just like that. Whoop. All right. Let's see here. All right. I'll just do that like that, I guess. Okay, let's see. Oop. Okay, you're good. Yeah. There we go. Come on. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And this is where you get, I think, I'm not sure if you have to execute this guy in order to get the B1 version of the judge. Yeah, you have to. It's a really tight counter window for the judge and adjudicator guys. You have to do it specifically while they're attacking, not before or after, but during the attack itself. Even if you're doing it a split second before, it's still... Yeah, I think the dissonant inhibitors, the trimmer, like... I think for some of the health percent implants, the cutoff is, I think 40%. And some of them are 20%. I think this is 40%. Like this, and then the one that converts energy gain to health. That's also 40%, but I think there's also a couple that do 20% as well. 20% of your max health. So if you've got 100 health, it'll only activate at 20 health. Or 40 health. A high-speed route straight to our launch facilities. This is the big thing that, along with the two interview screens, that implies that even though there's nothing on the floor that says assembly route here or whatever, that there were guided tours for this part of the facility as well. Because there's an info card here that doesn't make sense. Like, nucleus, this doesn't say just this is the elevator, nucleus, express elevator to nucleus, but it's a very PR-ish placard, P-L-A-C-A-R-D. Unlike a Picard, kind of famous shoes. Lizards out in the desert. Here we go. So yeah, you can see there's 3 sets of nitrogen tank things. I don't think I see the rockets on that the loading screen map. But I think at the beginning of the game you have and while Warren's in a wheelchair going to get recruited, you do have that 3D model at the bottom of the slide ramp thing. Yeah, here we are at Launchpad 1. One of these elevators might be the one that's there's an elevator near the entrance to R&D place that's broken, and it could be that one of these 2 elevators is implied to be that same elevator. I'm not quite sure how that works logistically, but it makes sense from a tourism standpoint. Like, it makes sense. Like, you have this elevator is the one that would lead to R&D, because then you have this walkway here that gives you executive forum. And all that.
I've received notification that you will be on the way shortly to deliver the package at the designated rendezvous. I will be waiting. Don't be late.
Yep.
For mankind. Look at us. Look at us as a species. We deserve to exist. There are no gods but the ones we make, and they were always made in our image. We are artists, engineers, writers, poets, musicians, scientists, geniuses. Every single one of us has that spark. The mistake we made, and yes, we made mistakes. That's another beautiful facet of being human, and being big enough to admit it is another. The big mistake we made was thinking we were masters of our domain, rather than a partner. No, not even that. She's called Mother Earth for a reason. No one else has nurtured us, provided for us, kept us safe, but we cast her aside, arrogant, smug in our superiority, our technology. Well, the one good thing about our science is that with a lot of hard work, and it's going to take all of us, we've got a chance to turn things around now. Don't you want to wake up to a brighter future? I know I do. Wealth is worthless when people are hungry, sick, and the planet is dying outside your window. I get it. I finally get it. That's why I decided to make a difference. We can all make a difference. We just have to want to do it. It's exciting, right? We're at the gateway to a new frontier here. Project Resolve and Creo will change everything. We're looking at a new dawn for mankind. Look at us. Look at us as a species. We deserve to exist. There are no gods but the ones we make, and they were
the last part about
always
Project
made
Resolve and Creo will change mankind. It kind of the easiest backing or theoretical reason for that this speech to this monologue to exist is shortly after revealing Project Resolve was his motivate. Interviewer, what were your motivations for make Project Resolve? Big, long, prepared speech.
Big enough to admit it is.
There's also a couple other things in there. It's
big
like
mistake we made.
I mean, yeah, it's very metaphorical about
thinking we were masters of
a lot of things in there. I think I'm just gonna get to the ops for this one and then call it a stream.
Attention all personnel. T-9 hold is now in effect. Awaiting status.
It's nice that it does show you, if you hold up here, where you need to go in order to get to the next part, even though you technically don't know you need to do that yet until you get the next cutscene. Also, here's a couple of things. The one on the left, Builder 1, Big Sister 1, out of free. And there's I'm trying. There's. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure there's a bigger screen down here. I think. Or another screen or something. And there's a bigger. Here we go. Bigger screen. Okay, yeah, Builder 1 out of free. We that's Big Sister 1 out of free. That's one of the bosses we feed that. I'm trying to figure out what those free little notches on the third one is. Like all of these are rocket components that lead to the rocket, whatever. I don't know what those notches are. I don't know what they represent. Like each of those is an assembly line, basically, that all lead into the same rocket. It looks like it might be just like this Launchpad 1 has, like that thing on the right there is Launchpad 1/Rocket 1, Rocket Station 1. Okay, so the thing on the right was maybe Launchpad 1, and then each of the 1 through 3 are all assembly lines for that specific rocket, because it's like you have to launch a rocket every 10 minutes or whatever, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. I think it's 15 minutes actually, and then so I guess maybe for Launchpad 2 and 3 you have Big Sister builders 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9 maybe something like that. I don't know. It looks like all 3 of these lead into the same launch pad, so anyway. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a random worker or if that might be the guy who's getting transformed into nanites or something. All those log 1 zeros transforming my flesh is me. I am the itch scratch man. Yeah. But yeah, you don't know that you have to do, like, you get the camera angle to show you the place where you need to turn off that nano field only before you actually get the nano field active, basically. It does show you a destination.
Freight elevator en route to floor 1, cargo. Hello.
Here we go. Your nitrogen pump control in the top right. See, like those tanks, those are nitrogens. And so each rocket tower has their own separate 6 tanks of nitrogen to help. It may be part of the rocket launch process itself. I'm assuming it's also or specifically for keeping the nanites on building stuff. Hey, on the right one here, we have a little thing that tells you a bit about how the rockets are designed.
So you're still alive. Kind of ironic, isn't it? We made it this far, just to end up here.
Yeah, where?
I'm not going to be able to make it. Yes, I see the irony. I'm the one who said don't be late. It's just too dangerous. I'm going straight to the terminal. It's all falling apart down here. Hurry. I'll see you there shortly.
Yeah, I really believe that the nitrogen pumps are... Like a thing in the top right, the little triangle thing, I like to believe that's actually like the nanite payload. It's representing the nanite payload, and that the nitrogen tank is just to keep it there, but I think it may just be part of the basic process for a launch itself. I don't actually remember if... I'm not sure if I can't remember like what rocket fuel is generally made of, or... It also could be that nitrogen is part of the fuel itself or something. Anyway. Well, let me just get that in. Let's see what I can upgrade. Yeah, you can do pretty much anything. As long as you're holding triangle bind down. You can hold a triangle bind down and do a bunch of other stuff while you're... You can do a lot of stuff while you're just banking that crap for whatever reason.